is his old name, of course. And I think that's where Mighty Max is going to try and take the flow to take.
I mean, you can hear them behind us as well. They are, screaming, chanting and whatnot. Imi's not here. Might lighten the mood a little bit. They might play a bit more looser, a bit more confident as well. They haven't got that, no flame, but that constant potential words coming after you die or nagging, quote unquote. Instead, these players can just have fun, play loose, and just try and enjoy this one.
And that could actually be the strategy they need against a team like EnVyUs. They're going to be very structured. EnVyUs for a team that try and play to their game. They won't really deviate from the playbook. Whereas Endpoint, in the way they're going to try and play this game, could be a lot more explosive. I'm talking aggression. I'm talking all sorts of ridiculous stuff coming out. Ruler as well. He just needs to try and play his game.
Yeah, it's really how, I guess, comfortable he can find himself. I mean, even on stage 10 up, he's having problems with his headset. How comfortable that was to see Jess now tested.
Oh, Jess unfortunately goes down immediately as Jax, one of the people that just run completely rampant for the side of EnVyUs, is finding easy entries. Petty Scale as well will take down Pickles. It's just Cryptics and Mighty Max left standing. They're in good positions, but the flick comes out from Haji. Dispatches of Cryptics, and Max is all on his lonesome. But would he live up to his name here, Snods, and do something mighty?
Mighty Max on the 1 versus 5. Only real opportunity he has is try to play for exit frags, get $300 per kill, then eventually try and save that Kevlar.
Will slowly make his approach out. Spots out Jax, finds one headshot, but Haji, of course, will trade it back. It's so easy for them. And that is going to be EnVyUs picking up that opening pistol round, setting themselves up with a bit of a limelight to ascend quite far on to this game, obviously getting those next 2 rounds essentially for free.
Question for me, Jack, is has EnVyUs learned from the previous lessons? Obviously, prior weeks versus Method, they underestimated Method. They did the exact same versus Excel as well. Remember that train game, I believe it was 10-11, 9-11, whatever, in favor of Excel. They actually had the lead versus EnVyUs, and they're the team that actually got the most rounds in one half. It was 9-6 scoreline on the T side. So, will EnVyUs come with the same mental fortitude? Maybe let a few early rounds slip? Or will they try and stay composed for the whole of this first map here?
Early aggression coming out towards the A-bomb site. Seems like it's going to be Lambert actually in the charge this time around. He's equipped himself with that nice little SMG, and he's going to try and sprint through the site, causing havoc. Haji, meanwhile, will find the opening headshot and doubles it up as well. It's 2 for Tuesdays for him, it seems. Lambert finally does a little bit of work, but Pickles comes into play, whips out his trusty old Deagle from his back pocket, and lands a single bullet straight between the eyes of Lambert.
Max, though, no Kevlar, just a Deagle in hand. It's going to be the 4 versus 2 round out in favor of EnVyUs, and so far, 4 players staying alive for the T side. As long as they can close this one out with 4 alive, build up your cash as much as possible when you're playing versus the 4 spies and the ecos, it should pay dividends to eventually when you do lose the buy rounds.
Max basically just trying to hold on to this Deagle now.
Yeah, it's $700. Of course, he found 1 kill as well into the first round. He found that pistol kill onto Haji, I believe, and what that means is he can still buy an AWP if he does seem it fit. I guess he's currently the caller for the team. Obviously, interim IGL as Imi is away.
Yeah, and also that's the thing, touching on the AWP there, you bring quite a good point to light, because EnVyUs has always been the AWP now for the team since obviously it restructured the lineup where Pickles came in rather than Smooya. But Ruler's there. Ruler, he's no odd man to the AWP. He knows how to wield the weapon very efficiently. We've seen him doing quite a lot of damage with it online in a few of the games they've played, obviously, over in EPS. Now, is that going to happen here today? Will he be able to step up with that same level of hype on land? Because he needs to. That CT half on train is so critical, revolving around those scoped plays.
Yeah, I mean, online, Ruler essentially been rather inconsistent. Some halves being phenomenal, other halves getting 1 kill and 15 deaths, and then halves afterwards going what? It was like 16-6 with Carson in the first half for him when his first game that he subbed in for Endpoint. Problem is as well, he's been the sub for Endpoint ever since... When did Smooya get bought by Epsilon? Must have been...
just before...
June?
Yeah.
So ever since then, he's only played 2 games, and this is his 3rd game. And that's been months and months and months on the bench, not playing, not able to get warm with the roster and find form and find his footing into this 5-man lineup. Anyways, it's going to be the fast aggression towards that side, and already 5 players staying alive.
Yeah, no casualties at all for the side of EnVyUs so far. They've just brute forced their way in. Only downside is actually Lambert is the only one that's not got a frag, and he's got the Mac 10. Everyone else has taken 1 kill apiece, and Max is again the last man left standing, just wandering around. Still has his trusty Deagle in his kit, and the smoke to boot.
Yep. Lambert with the Mac 10. He can hunt for this kill here. Obviously, $600 payment to the bank would be rather nice. Max finds a headshot. Actually, no, just the body shot there will eventually take that pedestal. Goes for the reface. They know exactly where he is, and he's low HP. Lambert there with the SMG will pick up $600 cash in hand. So, will Lambert carry forward the SMG into the first buy round? Obviously, they've done that before in the past, where they go for the 2 UMPs, 2 Mac 10s, 1 AK buy, or AWP buy, 2 UMPs and 2 AKs. They're no stranger to bringing forward these submachine guns into the first buy rounds. They like to play hard and aggressive. Let's see if they're going to go for the fast outside play, or maybe fake it and go back towards the B.
The buys will be coming out. They do have that 1 AWP. Obviously, this being transferred over towards Ruler as well. I want to see what he can do.
Jack, right? If you're Lambert, do you keep the Mac 10 and have Haji your star player on the AK, or do you sacrifice it for yourself and stay on that Mac 10.
Well, the thing is, Hadje actually loves doing this, though. We've seen him do it so many times against every team. He doesn't care who's playing against. He holds onto that Mac 10, and he does his damnedest to find kills with it. Normally, he actually does pick up a minimum of 2 frags around, so I'm not even that surprised this is coming to effect into round number 4 now.
Here comes the execution towards outside. Ruler finds the first, but eventually being traded out.
Yeah, traded back by Hadje as well, so that's an additional cash bonus going straight into his back pocket. Cryptics will find that headshot to take him down, and they're left on 4 versus 3, but EnVyUs still have time to play over as they make their slow approach towards the bomb site. They're going to go for the bomb plant now as well behind the smoke. Jax gets it down, but Lambert gets spotted out by Pickles from the elevated angle slants. He can also get that second frag as well. He does take down Jax. This is pretty good. It's left on Pettyscale in a 1v4. This is going to be awkward. He can't actually see them go for the full defuse as well. He has to swing wide and overextend out. Jess will be able to spam into him. Endpoint gets some hype behind them as well. They pick up that round, and they know they need to try and feed off the energy immediately.
4 players staying alive as well for the CT side. Bank for Endpoint will slowly but surely start to build here. EnVyUs, of course, after winning the Force buy and the Eco after losing only 1 body, means they can continuously buy into these next 4th and coming buy rounds. Let's see. Are they going to go for the 4 AK buy open to Lambert this time? Obviously, we saw no AWP from the T side in the last round. Hadje, they're trying to get aggressive towards outside. Find that first kill. He did get the trade onto Ruler, but unfortunately for him, Cryptics and Pickles, obviously too much cause for concern there, as he did find multiple kills towards outside. It will be the open to Lambert, the 4 AK buy. Let's see. Usually, they don't really play too much around Lambert's open plays, rather passive, supportive style. You hold an angle towards Ali, allow his star riflers to push up Ali and try and get those entry kills towards Green Train, towards backlines. And here it begins.
Lambert goes for the contact peak, but it all goes a little bit south there. Flashbang goes over. He nearly got caught out. If there would have been a full phase from Jesp, could have been so incredibly awkward. He does overextend out, takes a small tag, but he is able to stay alive.
So, 3 players towards Ali run out. 1 towards Team Man and 1 towards B. Boost comes in. Trying to see if they can find this eventual frag onto Jesp, which of course Lambert did leg up. So, 1 minute on the clock right now. No casualties going on to either side. It's round number 5. And EnVyUs, if they win this round, they can potentially reset the economy from Endpoint Force, a weak Force buy. And that's where they can really want to run away in this first half.
Just waiting right now as they slowly make their approach through. That first point of contact seems to be Max as he gets burnt down a little bit. Is forced to move back towards the far end of sight over towards B. First contact as well towards A comes out of Ivy as Hadje actually does fall. Jess will go 1 for 1 in that trade. Leaves them on a 4 versus 4, but they have slowly gained map control.
VK now towards Sandwich. Fortunately for him, there's no players towards Green Train or towards Default. Cryptics now towards Hell. And Ruler towards connect with the AWP. Pettyscale opens up the B bomb site, and this is going to force rotation now from Ruler. Or is it actually?
Oh, looks like Ruler will reposition, but he peeks out, finds the frag, does some damage as he actually connects that back on towards Pettyscale. Cryptics will fall, and it's all left on Ruler now in a 1 versus 3, an awkward situation at the best of times.
Has the kit, smoke, flashbang as well, and Kevlar for the retake, but eventually he's just going to be saving this one. Kita, if we can see the money here and see what the buyer's going to be like into the next round, of course they're going to get 1.4k into the banks, which means Jess can buy, Max can buy, Cryptics going to 3.4k, Ruler's going to be 2.8k, so we can't drop over, and then 4 could drop over FAMAS or potentially UMP, so we're going to see an AWP double rifle buy and maybe a UMP or a 5.7.
Ruler backing off right now as he wants to try and lock himself down on a better angle, attempt to stay alive. Jax is pushing through. VKL comes over to support as well, and he loses his head. That is so unfortunate. A beautiful shot does come out from VKL, though. He can take that AWP if he wishes to do so. I'm not sure if they will actually go for that.
So 4-1 will be the scoreline. Money reset right now for Endpoint. The fact they've saved no AWP means that money will be even more in a crisis. A weaker buy, even just a double rifle buy, AWP, maybe even an SMG and then 157 is bad, but looking at this, it's going to be the folly could come out from Endpoint on their CT side. It's 1-4. They're going to be conceding this one here, Jack, making it 5-1 potentially as someone goes huge with that deagle. But you're looking at another round here for EnVyUs where they can build up even more cash, have their money in a stable position for the remainder of this first half. And at that point, they're going to be able to do so much economic pressure round after round, even if Endpoint win rounds.
The aggression coming through. Pickles will actually get the opening frag though. Fan that kill towards Jax, but there's the early trade as well. Hadje, he's not messing about. He knows when to use his confidence and face into them. Jesp is perched up on the elevated angle, but he can't do too much either. He's still just getting forced out of position and just has to give the game away.
Still 4 versus 4. Of course, no Kevlar right now to the CT side of firepower is in the advantage of the terrorist side. So we are still favouring EnVyUs here in the scenario. Just now to book Blue Train, trying to spot out a play up. Sees the AWP, but that's really all he sees.
Mounting himself up there, will do a bit of damage with that deagle as he connects a shot into the chest of Hadje, takes him down, still just firing away. There's no real good position for him to peek off. They are staying alive and actually finding a couple of frags here and there, but they still need to do so much more. Jess finds a headshot on towards Pettyscale, but there's the trades. VKL really wants to end this round.
Max last alive now. Deagle flashbang. That's all he's really got to boot here. going to be shifting back through Whitehall's towards team main. Could catch Lambert off guard as well if he has strong timing here. Of course, Lambert has such strong utility, they could just simply Molotov connector or Molotov pop dog, smoke connector, get the bomb down and plant it open for Ali, for connector, whatever it really seemed fit. Anyway, gets spotted out here. 4 HP for him, not really too much he can do.
Ooh, had to push through the Molotov as well, so he gets taken down as soon as it caught a blaze. Max was trapped in there and will get turned to a crisp.
So what's the buy going to be like right now for Endpoint as we go into round number 6? It's going to be 5-1 is the scoreline, or round number 7 even. Max on the screens there. The interim IGL as Imi is, of course, away. But let's see. 5-1 now. 4 AK buy. All put to Lambert once again for EnVyUs. $9,000 into the bank of EKL. So Endpoint, they have to chain together 3 rounds on the trot if they want a chance of breaking this current strong terrorist side bank. It's going to be the Max 7 onto Jesp. 3 M4s, and then the AWP once again onto Ruler. See if he can have a bigger impact into this round.
Trying to hold down. They go for the jump face, but he actually lands the tag. Doesn't re-peek into it as well, so he knows there is the bait in play. Molotov will force him back out of position, but at least he got the early tag and stays alive.
Jesp as well, close towards Pop Dog, has control of that portion of the map. 3 players from the EnVyUs side funnel towards Ali now. And they could walk into the blender. The blender being Ruler's op. Cryptics towards Green Train. Smoke comes off back towards Green backline. Low HP onto Jackson Lambert here, still a chance here for Endpoint.
If they push their way through, it's Cryptics that has to do all the work, but he's allowed to face, gets a free frag on towards Jess. That angle was not efficiently covered. He assumed that he was being protected by his teammates there, but they can just swing wide, find that kill, and now reposition. And this is going to really set Endpoint off. They're not going to be sure of what angles are protected. They have to divide themselves even thinner than before. Pickles, though, will make a play. Takes down VKL.
Yep, information play goes in favor of Endpoint. They're making it the 4 versus 4. Penisco virtue fall as well. Ruler finds that frag. It's going to be the 4 versus 3.
Mighty Max live on location right now as he gets behind them. Fires away with the pre-fire, but the confusion was there for Max. He didn't quite know what was going on, and he goes down. A miss will come out. A little bit of a silver lining for Endpoint now, though, as Lambert didn't quite connect that shot immediately. They're in a 3 versus 2. Potential was there, and the bomb is still not down.
Do they anticipate Hadji now coming in from the rear? Just a flashbang. That's all he really has to his name. Ruler could be caught off guard here if he doesn't get wary of someone being behind him.
Bouncing around, he's going to be giving away those audio cues, so Hadji can just walk straight in. He's not going to clear it. He can try and set up a frag, but he whiffs it. Cryptic swings round, takes him down. Lambert has to go all in right now as well, as he has no time left to play. If they can just push together, they have a little bit of utility, but as long as they just work as a team, they can find that frag. They will get the kill, but he did get the bomb down. They can now go for a double setup as well if they want.
My goodness, that should have been 2 kills in the bag, a 1 versus 2. The bomb's planted for Lambert there. My goodness. We should be seeing a 6-1 scoreline, a reset in terms of the economy for Endpoint. Another quasi buy, an 8-1. You can see Hadji there, not happy with that one. Anyway, oh, the whiff comes through. Cryptic's thinking, what on earth is that?
That's so unlike Hadji as well.
I know,
normally,
he's usually so crazy.
Yeah, he's that one-man army. You give him anything to play with, he just furthers that lead massively. Him and Jax have always been the 2 biggest fragging houses in that entire team. So it's crazy that today he's having a bit of a struggle. So
we'll be the double up setup run out from Endpoint on their CT side. Cryptics towards bomb site, and Ruler as well going towards the B bomb site. 3 towards A. Can they hold off the fast assault here from EnVyUs Academy?
Pushing their way straight through. The entire site is set ablaze, but Jax wants to try and do even more damage. Pickles will be able to defend it a little bit as he's raining damage from above, but he eventually goes down as Pettyskull does the same. Jax as well comes in with a massive frag back towards Cryptics and leaves him with just 2 players. It's Max and Ruler that have to try and work together here as a dynamic duo, and it's going to be an awkward retake to say the least.
Ruler now the op towards Bob Dog. Not the area of the map you really want to be using this weapon. If Lambert overfaces, gives him the entry here, there's a chance in the 2 versus 2 if they have control of Pop Dog. Nevertheless, you can see Lambert isn't giving Ruler any chance into this round.
It's a stalemate. Neither of them want to make the first mistake into this play. Ruler will jump down, but he misses the shot. Lambert capitalizes on this. And Max actually is going to go for the play, though. Gets the smoke down, but behind him, Jax was in position, spots him out, and finds the headshot.
That's a free op given to Lambert, the primary op for the EnVyUs side. You're in a 2 versus 3, op for the retake. Down Pop Dog, Max is towards backlines as well. The chance of winning the round is so slim, just save it. Drop over some guns into the next rounds and have a buy to round number 9 instead. Just throw in the towel and cut your losses at that point. Anyway, though, 2-6 for the scoreline. Money reset now for Endpoint. You can see the force play comes through, Jack, but look how awful their buy is going to be. M4 into Pickles, apart from that, 3 Deagles and a P250. It's looking like a very one-sided affair already early on into the first half. This should be 7-2, an eco from Endpoint, 8-2 at that point. You're thinking, okay, EnVyUs have already won the half, only 11 rounds in.
Setting themselves up for these aggressive plays now. as early on. They know Endpoint only have the pistols to play with. They can just try and force them to overextend, pick them off with the range advantage they have. Endpoint, nothing too ridiculous into the round though. Just playing it out more so it's like a standard gun round rather than anything too ridiculous.
Run boost to come through. One of Rule actually did spot the toe there from Haji. Gonna be smoking off back. Woo! Gonna be smoking off back lines. You can see a little bit Lanches is there. We saw him fluff the 2 kills from behind and fumbling his grenade just a little bit. Nevertheless, though, the grenades do eventually rain through. It's gonna be 1 minute left on the clock. Bomb towards team main. A slow D4 here from EnVyUs. They're expecting aggression from the CT side.
Jax finds that headshot now as he will take down Ruler though. There's only 4 men left standing on the side of Endpoint. The only one with a rifle is Pickles. Jess trying to do damage with a deagle. Normally he could be quite effective with a weapon, but he's not being given any chances. EnVyUs know where he is, and then just gonna isolate that angle, not peek into him, not give him the chance. Jess did just spot out the head, but still can't push quite in. Cryptix goes down as well after going 1 for 1. Jess does a little bit of damage, but Lambert will pick him off.
Oh my goodness, wants to smoke Fate as well. Max towards backlines, could catch Jax off guard. Oh, Jax though, on the ball. Pickles now 1 versus 4. Smoke will eventually dissipate, but you should really be saving the scenario. You still get the round loss bonus if the bomb does eventually expire. Instead, runs into a Molotov, gives him with a sound cue, and now EnVyUs know exactly where Charlie Pickles is off to.
They can try and hunt him if they want to as well. As you can see, rotating over towards that B site. If he peeks out, it's not going to be too hard for them to actually find that frag. Jack's in position. He doesn't miss a trick. He's ready. Locked and loaded for the face to come out for Pickles and to dice him up, but it seems like he will just hold on.
Yeah, seems like EnVyUs can allow him to save this one. Of course, EnVyUs right now have no reason to throw these rifles. Just stack up your cash and focus on your money. Forget about endpoints. You're 7-2 up. You force an eco now into the next round. Your money's in such a good position. You're going to be playing versus another eco into round number 10. It's again another round where you can stack up your cash ever so further. And already a very large lead here for EnVyUs on the terrorist side of Train. So usually when we cast this map here on Train, you're expecting 9-6, 10-5 score lines. Obviously, if the terrorist wins the pistols, yeah, you do see sometimes 8-7s, 7-8s in favor of the terrorist side. But nevertheless, you know, a 7-2 advantage here, 5 rounds difference after just round number 10. It's a very poor showing here from Endpoint without him.
Yeah, it's true. Definitely struggling right now, but maybe there is going to be a little bit of second win for them. Their city halves have been where the issues have always arisen. Maybe that T half where they can just run with the firepower will work out better for them. Right now it's Jax to do all of the damage. Finds the 2 entries towards that B bomb site. Max and Jess will fall as they went to go for the contact play, but they do run straight into the hands of Pickles. He could be ready to put them down if he plays his cards right. They're going to clear the angles. They've seen no one's there. VKL double faces it though as he clears it a second time. Paranoid that Pickles might have been hiding out and does find the headshot towards him.
Bomb will eventually go down towards B. VKL is low, but it of course found that kill onto Pickles. Cryptix now trying to salvage his AK into the next round, but Jax will thread the needle and catch him off guard. It's going to be 8-2 now. 4 players alive right now for EnVyUs. Make it 3 after a headshot comes in from Ruler. Going to be able to try and save this AK, but already Lambert's hot in pursuit.
Ruler just roaming around a little bit here, trying to force them to do something. Just wants to stay alive if possible as he does have that AK. Let's actually find the frag as well as it takes down Lambert. And that AWP is there for him to scavenge. Oh, but he gets caught off guard from behind by Pettyskull.
So, 6-round deficit now for Endpoint. And a worrying potential trend here, Jack, is the terrorist side coming up from Endpoint lacking the IGL and strategy. You don't have your cooler. You don't have your tactician. And now on the terrorist side, well, eventually once the sides flip and they do go on the terrorist side, if they lose that pistol, they don't have momentum, this could easily be a 16-6 hit stop, Jack. Anyway, the buy come in from both teams. It's going to be the single op setup and no Kevlar for Ruler, the glass cannon AWP. He needs to get aggressive here, try and find this first frag for his team. But already, Hadjay's out towards Olaf, trying to find that first frag towards Sandwich and open up this A side.
That's the thing, that he's trying to counter this aggression that's being displayed by Envy right now, but Lambert just finds such a beautiful shot as he will eliminate Jasp in a matter of seconds. It's 4 versus 4 already into the round, but the map control is the key factor for EnVyUs. They're allowed to swan their way out, rub their dirty feet all over that A site, and take control of it so easily. Pickles just waiting as well for the right time to peek. He will finally reveal himself, but he only gets the 1 frag as Jax is able to trade it back. Max is there. What can he actually do? We'll find 1 kill. That's beautifully done. Leaves him back in a 2 versus 1. There is so much to play for into this round. There is potential.
So, low HP, no utility right now for VKL in the 1 versus 2. A crucial round here for Endpoint. They need round number 3. They need rounds of the board ASAP before this thing and this map gets out of hand. Really will find the final frag though. It's going to be 3-8 here. And another scenario, Jack, where EnVyUs can reset the CT side economy. Of course, if our 2 players stay alive and they've salvaged the AWP, obviously, really finding the final kill means he will bring the AWP to the next round, so no one has to rebuy the most expensive gun of the game. Nevertheless, though, 8-3, 5-round deficit now for Endpoint on their CT side. They have to string these rounds together. If they get reset here, this could easily be an 11-4, a 12-3 half already just off of the back of the economy. It's going to be the 4 AK buy, AWP onto Lambert once again, and a similar buy from the last for the CTs.
Oh, look at this from Ruda, though. He wanted to try and bring some aggression to the table, switch it up a little bit. That could have been the difference maker, but gets caught off guard. No support there. Instantly blind gets taken down.
It's not how you do it, though. You have the best spawn, you have someone come with you, you have a rifler play counter flash. Once the flash comes in, he's there ready to support you. Instead, Ruler gets caught off guard by the flashbang from EnVyUs and gives away the advantage. Already a 5 versus 4.
I think Ivy control completely open as well. It was on Cryptics to try and hold them off, and he does find that one kill, the headshot back and towards Hadji, but it's all over the place right now as this round will instantly fall into a 2 versus 2, make that a 1v1 as kills are just going all over the map. It's on Max once again, the last man alive. He's already claimed 1 frag into the round, but he needs to do more. Lambert, AWP roaming around, raid positioning right now as he has to recover the bomb. Max is going to be confused about what is going on. He just needs to try and play this one out.
Yep, Lambert knows exactly where Max is in this scenario. Thankfully for Endpoint, though, Max is of the kits. Oh, he expects to play back towards Ali, but instead, Lambert's going across the other side of the map. It's going to be the bomb plant towards the B site here for Lambert. He's read the scenario very well. He can plant for oil drains, for backlines, for heaven, for anywhere. Max, it's a guessing game now towards his B bomb site, if he actually realizes it is B.
Yeah, he has the Molotov as well, so Lambert essentially set up in the perfect situation to attempt to pick this round up. All he has to do is hunker down, hold for the push to come through, wait for him to tap the bomb, get the molly out. Max does have the smoke and defuse kit. So he's set up, he's got the tools to attempt to win this round, but Max needs to react insanely fast as he's burning for a lot of time here.
Yep. Thing is, he will have the smoke to extinguish the fire from the Molotov, but Lambert now knows exactly where Max is coming from. As soon as he taps that bomb, peeks out. Oh, misses actually, there's a chance.
He does dive down though, and he misses with a knife as well. Max actually just commits to the bomb. He's going to get the defuse. Lambert couldn't find him. He will get the shot with the AWP, but he couldn't find him. Max gets the defuse and picks up the round. Lambert confused into that play.
He was indeed. 8-4 with the scoreline now. Max with a massive clutch there in that scenario. No players staying alive for the CT side, and the round prior, which they did win to make it 3-8 before this, 2 players stayed alive. The money will still be so low right now for Endpoint on their CT side. How much HP did he go down to? Just 79, so Lambert only landing 1 left click there. And it was a nice, easy round there for Endpoint. It's going to be the buy coming out. Oh, actually, that's a very weak buy from EnVyUs.
Yeah, but the thing is, Endpoint as well, they also have a fairly weak buy. Utility is there, but it's lacking in smokes, and they only have the, obviously they're missing the 2 of the stronger rifles. We have Jesp over on the Scout and a Famus on Ruler. It's not the best situation.
It isn't indeed. Lambert, though, bringing forward this AWP into round number 13. Could be the difference maker if the site is eventually theirs. Mighty Max playing towards Under Heaven by Coils. In this scenario here, is the backup of Pickles. They have to line up these players here and have a good crossfire.
Max is so key into this. He's the catalyst into the round, but they're able to get down. They bound above him. He gets stuck on the ladder as well, so he wasn't accurate and he will fall. Pickles finds one, but it's a quick trade back. Lambert furthers the lead even more as he annihilates Cryptics. It's just left on Jesp and Ruler, the 2 weaker firearms men into the round, but they're trying to whip this arsenal to get these efficient frags. They push their way through. Jax will go down. VKL, Hadji, and Lambert left alive as Hadji will come back into form, finds that frag on towards Ruler. Jesp tried to run off and save as well, but gets spotted out by Lambert.
9-4 with the scoreline now as once again Endpoint's money is reset. 0 players staying alive in the last round, and prior to that one is only 2. They should be near to broke here, Jack. Forced to use everything they have in their inventory and their bank accounts. We could be seeing another weak buy here from Endpoint. Potentially Max 7's UMPs here. But I guess we're about to find out. This is the thing, right? Max goes backwards, gets dazed, panics, and goes up the ladder, so his spray is completely inaccurate once you're up the ladder. It's a nice shot there from Lambert to get the final kill as well to Jess, but anyway, on your screens to the left there, that's Ruler. The current stand-in for Endpoint is with a tactical timeout. This is where Jake can try and give his knowledge.
Yeah, Jake needs to come into effect, obviously. A lot of the work he does is more involved on heat maps, that sort of stuff. He tries to anti-strat teams in that way. Yeah. Against EnVyUs, that is probably the best way to approach them, as they are a quite standardized team. They have a lot of depth in their playbook, but they play a very similar style all the time.
The thing is with EnVyUs right now, okay, if I'm EnVyUs, if I'm Lambert, I'm saying, right, we're guaranteed playoffs, we're guaranteed pretty much top 2. Play the loose style, the puggier style, because how on earth are teams going to be able to read up on that, do their homework, and try and predict that, or predict your game plan and your style going into the playoffs?
Yeah, just throw something into the mix, try and switch it up a little
especially
bit.
Versus Endpoint with a sub. Like, they're missing Imi, you can play the looser style, even if it's a sloppy win. A win is a win at this point. They don't have to give away any strategies, play it loose, and just do that pug style of calling. Especially with Lambert with the AWP, he can even lead with it, and just play the map control style of CS.
I think it's Endpoint as well. They need to try and get some energy behind them once again. We saw it
Every single time they win a round, yeah,
yeah,
they're just screaming and chanting, but
it's dead on the low rounds. They
yeah,
can't
that's one of the issues, right? Very high highs, very low lows. Here we go. I believe this is round number 14. And look at the buy here. The force play comes in from Endpoint on the CT side. Scout to Jess once again. 3 Deagles. Kevlar on 4 of those players. And Lambert wielding the AWP once again. 3 rifles and the FAMAS onto VKL. And looking like they're making the right call to eventually walk out heaven and have that B-bomb site for free.
Yeah, for that classic play that we saw into the prior round. This time, though, there's not even a Mighty Max there ready to try and ward them off. They're just going to be given complete control in a matter of seconds. They flood their way through when they feel like the time is right, and they will take control of the site instantly. They can get the bomb down as well, but they're clearing all the angles to make sure that it is uncontested. This is going to be a full retake from Endpoint into this round. Actually, they might just go for the backing off entirely. They go for the full saves. They have armor into the next round.
Yeah, the reason being here is you're saving yourself Kevlar. You can also have the scout from Jess, and this is the force buy, so you have no money in the bank right now, which means you're only going to get $1,100 into the last round, so your buy is going to be well, basically replicated. If they all save guns here, they can buy a 5 or 4 UMP buy.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than Deagles.
That's the thing, they need to hold on to this armor to at least give them something to play with. Probably their best bet. No push really coming through from the side of EnVyUs. They're searching a little bit, but not overextending too much, actually. This could be the first point of contact with Ruler, obviously just hunkered down towards Ivy. But Jax, absolutely mean in these rounds. Always closes his angles. Always on point. Will he find the frags this time around, though? Seems like it is going to be the same old Jax on display. We'll find 1 and 2 as well. So 2 kits of armor forced out from Endpoint.
Round number 15. The final round of this first half here. And what's the buy going to be? 2 players do fall there. Jess doesn't manage to save the scout. Can still buy the Deagle Kevlar flashbang, potentially as having $1,100 into your bank, as that is the round loss bonus for losing 2 rounds on the trot. So, let's see the buyers once again. EnVyUs Academy right now, leading the charge. It's going to be a 10-4 scoreline, and there we go. 1 minute 40 left on the clock. It's going to be the, oh wow, no rifles, no submachine guns, just flat out upgraded pistols, Kevlar, kits here and there, grenades as well, far and few between. It's going to be round number 15, 10-4, a 6-round deficit now for the CT side of Endpoint, and things can only get worse on the terror side.
An incredibly weak buy there for Endpoint. Really not what they wanted into such an important round at the end of the half here. Cryptix will get all of this information early, but doesn't actually overextend or attempt to contest this. He'll just be relaying that to his teammates. Ajay sprint straight through, but he still finds the frag on towards Pickles by Bomb Train. Jess will try and strike, gets the early tag out, and finds the frag in the end as well, but he's caught off guard, had to go for the reload. Such a low ammo count on the CZ, and all of his teammates are following suit as well. They go down. It's just Ruler, Ryan Ruler Payne himself. Will he bring the pain today? No.
That's a great name, by the way, Ryan Payne.
He brings the pain. Online.
Online, of course. So it's going to be 11-4. And that's the first half scoreline coming out from EnVyUs. Once again, another very one-sided affair for EnVyUs. It seems like every single time they play, they either have their slow starts, their slow burners, but they always close out the maps. One of the biggest issues when you play versus EnVyUs is if you give them any room, right? The first kill. Map control, they always find a way to take advantage of it. Lambert's calling on the fly is so loose, and he can fall back on strats if need be, but they can play that looser style because the individually skilled players here, Haji, Jax, can simply plow and just they plow through all these teams.
Yeah, it's true. They've just got so much firepower. They can rotate out essentially who is going to be stepping up for the day. And it's always Jax and Haji. They are the 2 sort of better players on the team in terms of their unreal firepower. They get a lot of support as well from how Lambert actually chooses to situate them, and they just do damage. You can't really ward that off. As well with EnVyUs, they're playing very confident. You can't anti-strike that. As you said, if you're just getting taken down from ridiculous rushes into heavy explosions and towards sites, how do you counter that? You can't. So, second pistol here, and let's be honest, Endpoint need this one. If they win it, could be 7-11. Lambert now getting aggressive towards Ali. Ruler could catch him off guard. Ruler's in position, will spot him out, and actually does find the opening headshot. This is good. A nice start for Endpoint.
Yep, 1-man lead right now. 1 minute 30 on the clock. Bomb towards Team Main, and it's looking like an eventual A split through Pop Dog, Team Main, and Ruler there. Is he going to go Ali? No, he's going to rejoin the ranks and the troops towards Team Main, and eventually they will go full force towards this A site.
No utility, though, to aid them. They just have to brute force their way in, going absolutely blind as Jax is just firing out pot shots, hoping to connect towards them, weaken them up. Hadji as well, finding headshots right now as he takes down one man, make it two, as Pickles will fall as well. They can mince me out, and he gets away with his life, able to stay alive, so Jax will come in for a right hook as he brutality kills just Cryptic, still trying to do a little bit of work as he forces them to back off, but they can't even cross towards bomb site. So many angles are covered. You can see how timid they are on the side of Endpoint. They know if they have to cross, they're going to get taken down. Cryptics will find that one headshot, actually. It's pretty nicely done as he eliminates Petty Skell.
Oh, Hadji's low as well. Kit, no Kevlar for VKL. Smoke grenade onto him. Kevlar by 17 HP for Hadji. This is a very winnable round right now for Cryptics. Thing is, though, VKL anticipates the play towards B. But instead, Cryptics, instead of going through connector and trying to get the bomb down and open plant towards the B bomb site, he will plant towards back of default A. Instead of going back towards Pop Dog or Sandwich, he's going to be trying to get this first frag hit towards connector and turn into a 1v1.
He's got safe passage as well. He's allowed to stay towards connector. They're not coming in. They're going to try and retake together from over towards A2. This could be a good play from Envy, though.
Yeah, they've played it smart. They've grouped together. They can tap the bomb, force the peek out from Cryptics, or even smoke the bomb and try to defuse through it.
They've got the smoke and the defuse kits. They set themselves up. They also get all that information out now, so they just have to smoke the bomb. They know that Cryptics has to run straight through. He gets the tags out, but he can't quite find the frags. They've been able to get the full defuse that entire time. And VKL as well, trying to add insult to injury, will do so. Takes down Cryptics.
12-4, as both pistols go in favor of EnVyUs. Cryptics, they're not happy with that one. The smoke defuse kit catching me off guard there. Very one-sided affair already here, Jack. Stark contrast between teams, and a stark contrast, between what we usually see from Endpoint. Obviously, not having Imi here, trying to boost his ego through the roof as it already is, but they definitely do look lost here. And it's giving the 5 deagle buy coming out from Endpoint. Trying to get these initial kills, 2-man advantage, 3-man advantage, and play off of the numbers.
Something aggressive, something deadly, just hit us hard and fast, attempt to find some frags. They have to throw a spanner into the works right now because they're playing it standard, it's just not working. They realize as well the situation they're in, they're not even going to have that much of a buffer left off the back of these rounds that Envy are essentially given for free because they picked up that pistol. They are allowed to run rampant with the weaponry they have now. So Endpoint just hoping they can make a difference in this round.
5 players forcing means no AWP as well into the first bar run if it comes to that point. Hanshi just mopping these players up from long range with the M4, but eventually, 2 nice headshots there from the Mighty Max himself will turn into a 2 versus 3.
Lambert scouts back, and it's just on Cryptics in a 1 versus 3. Lambert is low, but VK on Petty Skell are sitting pretty right now. 100 HP on both of them. Cryptics is hearing them push through, but he whiffs it, can't connect the headshot. VKL takes him down with the UMP. It's a quick round and a big cash builder.
Yep, 13-4 now. And this Academy 3 rounds away from taking this one in hot pursuit. Crazy to think we've only seen 17 rounds so far, and already nearly at the finish line here for EnVyUs. Haven't even dropped a map so far in the Elite Series. Week number 6, if they can carry on this impeccable form, get to 18 points, not losing 1 map, going to the final week. Who do they play? Epsilon. I believe it's Epsilon, so that should be probably the game of the whole season. Anyway, let's go with the UMP and the MP9 to Lambert and, Hadji and Jax, and the Follica coming out from Endpoint. But of course, 5 players forced into the previous round, which means no AWP for Ruler going into round number 19. It's looking like already 14-4.
Burst strap towards that B bomb site. 1 flashbang on Max is going to flash out. They're all going to flood their way through. No smoke to try and aid them as well. VKL just able to blind spam through, finding the easy kills. He gets 2 of them, but Pickles will take it down with a nice long-range Glock burst as he finds that juicy little frag. But still, is it anywhere near enough to attempt to pick up this round as they're just going down a matter of seconds? The flank comes through from behind. Jax will claim that final frag towards Jest. Defuse comes out as well, and that is the 14th round now picked up by Envy.
So, we're going to go into round number 19. 2 more needed for EnVyUs Academy and 12 more needed for Endpoint. So, just to really see it how it is. 10-round advantage right now for EnVyUs Academy after just 18 rounds. Max right now talking about a delay. Maybe going to go for an A split. That's what I would do in this scenario. 3 players towards alley. 2 towards alley, 2 towards Pop Dog, 1 towards team main. Have a split towards the A site from all portions of the map. Anyway, the round number 19 buy is going to be the SMG onto Jax. MP9 thrown away by Hadji and is going to rebuy into the M4. No AWP right now for the CT side, but there is an AWP in play from Ruler.
It's true. Ruler's done the weapon that he made a bit of his name for. He's waiting for the push to come through, but early flashbang forces him back. You can see he's so timid here as well because of this. He can't peek out efficiently anymore now. Jax has that map control locked down. Even if they wish to try and retake this, they're going to have to send a lot of Ts in there. They clear it out effectively, though.
1-man advantage right now for Endpoint on the terrorist side. Hadji now close towards Electric, should be able to equalize the numbers. And Here comes the push through team main. Ruler trying to pre-fire the angle, but doesn't quite land the shot just yet.
Oh, sprinting their way through though. Ruler will actually get that frag back on Wartajis. They now have a bit of safe passage to play with, but it's Pettiscale coming in from the rear. He could be so annoying, but VKL's already doing damage from miles away. Pettiscale gets out there. He's the last man left standing. Ruler is clearing these angles. He's actually starting to bring the Ryan Payne right now.
1 versus 3. Ruler will plant safely. Pettiscale now finds the first. It's the 1 versus 2. And Ruler missing the shot once again. He's landed the dink. No HE grenade into his arsenal. There's the Molotov and the smoke and the kit. There's a chance here.
Ridiculous amounts of damage done into the round so far from Pettiscale. He still has a little bit of utility to play with as well, and that all-important kit. Slow approach through, but Ruler will actually find the frag. That's a free K coming out from Ruler. Nicely done there.
Yeah, big round with the AWP there from Ruler. We'll make it 5-2-4T, but obviously this is a very one-sided map here in map number 1 of this 3rd game here tonight. Next map being Cash. Well, simply put, on Cash we should be seeing far more rounds from Endpoint. It's more of a puggy style. You can play that looser style. CT style especially, you don't have to really be rotating properly. Well, what am I on about? One of the biggest issues right now is the fact that they're missing Imi, and Imi is their rotate player. Yeah. Okay, on Cash, it's not that big of a deal. On Train, though, knowing when to be towards B, knowing when to be towards A, countering the outside rushes, countering the eventual executes towards the B bomb site is a very hard call to make. And talking about calls, Max being the caller tonight, the interim IGL. Pettiscale spots out the players, and they're showing the bomb as well. So, the rotation comes in, VKL is here to aid Pettiscale. But all they've really got here is an M4 and the UMP. The AWP from Lambert hasn't budged just yet, still running towards Ali. But the bomb was shown by Mighty Max, which means eventually, once his smokes come in, they shouldn't be able to fake it.
Endpoint still setting themselves up for the push. Smokes have gone in, flashbangs and Molotovs to aid them as well as they now flood their way back through. Pettiscale responds with a little bit of firepower. VKL does damage against the opening frag, but it's trade for trade. It's all on Pickles right now to do the damage as he's finding these initial entries that he had to claim to give his teammates time. Pickles goes huge so far, the hat-trick. Pickles hungry for more, but he can't quite claim the 4th. He will go down to Jax as they're left in a 2 versus 2.
2 versus 2 now. No kits though for the CT side, which means this retake is going to have to be hard and fast. Mighty Max towards Grey Train, gets spotted out, but actually Ruler will find the frag onto Jax. It's Hadji now the AWP in the 1 versus 2.
Hadji with the AWP, let's see what he can actually do. Obviously, a bit of an unknown quantity when he dons the weapon. He's more of your maniac rifler, but with the AWP in his hand, will he still be a prolific fragger? It seems like he can't even go for anything here. They have no reason to peek into him. They still had the Molotov as well to pick up the round. He realizes it's not worth the risk. They've got so much of a buffer. Allow Endpoint to get round number 6, and let's try and pick it back up in the next round.
So, we go into round number 21, 6-14 with the scoreline. Still though, Endpoint in its 8-round deficit. Thankfully for them, they are the T side, which means they can break that CT economy a lot more. CT side defense money is far more fragile than the terrorist side. So, obviously the double entry there from Pickles and the 3rd kill as well on the retake really did seal the deal.
Yeah, nicely done from Pickles. He's one of the players as well you have to have stepping up on the side of Endpoint. He's an explosive rifler. He tries to bring his A game to the table whilst keeping things loose. And today, we've seen little bits of that, but not enough.
Lambert, only player on the CT side with the real firepower here. AWP for him, gets aggressive towards Ali, but should be met by Ruler's AWP.
Ruler actually starting to get some energy behind him in terms of his AWPing capability. He's finding those key entries here and there. If he continues that, and Endpoint actually now running off the back of this, they could see themselves actually situating towards a closer game.
So, for Endpoint right now, they've shown no presence towards that B-bomb site. Players towards Whitehall still, so they can eventually go back there if need be. Jess part of the push above Popdog. Actually, no, he's towards team main, not Whitehall, so 4 players towards outside. And then Pickles holding for the aggression towards Popdog and whatnot. Anyway, that should be a fairly clean round here versus the Pistols.
Nades are soaring through the sky right now, so there's going to be the aggression towards A bomb site. Jack seemed confused, off-put about what was actually occurring there. Didn't know Pickles was charging in behind him as he finds his frags lurking as well to wait in case any more CTs are going to come back through and backstab into him. So he holds the level ground. Lambert gets boosted up to elevated angle. Should have been an effective peek, but Jess was also ready for it as they are taking them down. Max will blow VK out of the server. It's just Pettiscale and Hadji left, but they can't do too much. This is going to be Endpoint getting round 7. Nicely done here, but will they lose anything else? Pettiscale playing the close angle, peeks out, tries to get the tag off on towards Ruler. He is low, but he's trying his hardest to get out of there with his life, and he will get away successfully. So
7-14. EnVyUs still doubling the scoreline here from Endpoint on their T side. So far, so good for them. Obviously, the first round, EnVyUs got a little bit cocky. They're keeping forward the UMPs. Obviously, Hadji through with the MP9, but nevertheless, he had no AWP from Lambert onto the first buy round, so they got that one. They won versus the Force buy as well, and now they've won versus the Eco. So 7 rounds for them as they pick up 3 on the trot. And that's one of the issues here, right now for the CT side, of course. If you're Endpoint, you win one round, you break that bank, that's 1. You win versus the Force, but that's 2, and then you win versus the full eco, that's 3 rounds, and there we have it. It's going to be 7-14 now. The buy will eventually come out from EnVyUs Academy. Are we going to be seeing? No! Wow. So look at their money. They have money to buy. Hadji can drop over an M4, but they're going to be saving for potentially double up setup here for utility kits. They have 7 extra rounds to potentially concede here. They can take the risk of just saving.
That's the thing. I actually prefer them going for this. You see a lot of teams that will just keep investing in, get themselves in such an awkward situation with the economy. This is smart. You know you've got at least another 7 rounds of buffer. Chill out a bit. Let this round slip away, reinvest into the next one, give yourself more room to play with. Hadji has actually already found an opening frag. He's got that AK, finds a headshot on towards Max. That could be quite damaging to the late game.
Yeah, I mean, especially because all of the remaining T players right now from Endpoint are towards Ali. So, Jax here towards T main. Takes control of it, will eventually concede it though. Goes back towards site. Pickles walking back towards Whitehorse. So, what do you do right now for your Endpoint? You're a man down. What's huge as well is the fact that Jax has actually retrieved the AK that the player that Hadji killed dropped, which means 2 rifles and Kevlar for the CT side, and you're a man disadvantage. Do you group up and risk it towards B and try and have that sight and win versus the retake in your afterplant? Or do you simply execute and try and counter out these rifles that are saved and salvaged and see what happens? Smokes towards Electric and Sandwich, but they don't really do too much as the eventual push is looking like it's going to come from Ali.
Pickles once again hoping to try and find these entries towards Pop Dog at this time. Jax is there and he's ready for it. He's not messing about. Has the AK-47 in his hands. Max's weapon, can he wield it against them? The frags do go the way of Envy right now as they find it. It's a clean house. They shut it down. They only lose 1 man. Envy pick up a round. That is ridiculous off the back of that.
Timid and scared plays there from Endpoint versus the Eco. They peek out, Hadji gets the first. They slow things down, but they allow the crossfire to happen. From EnVyUs towards Ali, you saw 3 players there. They had literally backs covered. Yes, VKR fell down and died towards backlines. But look at Hadji here, just 3 kills, shooting players in the back towards Green Train. Anyway, though, match point for EnVyUs. Endpoint have to win 8 on the draw if they want a chance of taking this one. It's going to be the 10-9 for Mighty Max and a 4-buy nevertheless, but still, here comes the fast assault towards A.
Just going to try and hit it hard and fast here and hope for the best. Ruler will get the entry into this one, though, as he takes down Jax fairly swiftly. Hadji playing around the smoke could be so key, though. He's got the information, but it doesn't work. Max dispatches him with a Tech 9 as he starts to run rampant into the round. Pettyscale will return fire, eliminates Chess. Cryptics with a nade, soars through the sky, blows Pettyscale out, but VKO with a double kill! Bounces off both of them. It's a 2 versus 2. Lambert is getting tagged. He can't efficiently peek into this, but they just have to play together.
2 versus 2 now. Kits onto VKL. Molotov and smoke for Lambert. And Cryptics now, 40 HP. There's no utility run out for the T side, and Lambert will turn this into a 2 versus 1.
Oh, Max does a little bit of damage here as he will find that frag back towards VKL. Max doubles it up, swings wide off the back of Bomb Train. He is the clutch.
He is the Mighty. I believe that's 8 now for Endpoint. Nevertheless, they need 7 on the trot if they want a chance of overtime. That's the thing. Even if they have a massive line and string of rounds, the best they can hope for here is to try close this one out in overtime. EnVyUs Academy right now sitting on match point, which means they can't lose in regulation. Anyway, round number 24. Let's see what the buy is going to be like for both sides. It's going to be the 4 AK buy and Orb onto Ruler once again. Are we going to see him get aggressive here and try and find the first entry for his team? And the Orb once again donned and in the hands of Lambert. And surrounding him will be the 4M4 buy coming out from Team EnVyUs. So a solid buy on both halves as this game goes down to the wire. Eventually, players now creeping in towards B, but Pettyscale should spot them though.
Pettyscale goes to the information play. Molotov goes down as well. They come in fully through it, but Jess finds the kill before he gets burnt off. It's insane he actually does find that kill, but fully commits anyway. They are divided. They now start to entry slowly and staggered. This is very awkward as they're just getting tagged down. VK was able to stay alive before Pickles has something to do about it as he finds that headshot. It's a 3 versus 4 retake now.
Man advantage for Endpoint on the T side as the bomb is planted, but they don't really have the best after plant positions. They do have the 2-man advantage now as Pickles finds that frag. This might be the save it for EnVyUs.
Yeah, Pickles is just ripping heads off. He will eventually fall as Jack's able to do damage. Lambert as well peeks into it. They get it back into a 2 versus 2. They do have the Molotov on Ruler, but Ruler finds the frag. Mighty Max as well connects the headshot. Endpoint, they're staying alive in these rounds. They're trying to keep it going.
9-15 as the money is low once again for EnVyUs Academy. 6 rounds now separating these 2 teams. Is it doable? I'm not quite too sure, Jack. Obviously, the round loss bonus is going to grow and grow and grow to the point of $3,400 per win, which means if you're Endpoint, you're going to win a round versus the full buy, and then your versus Kevlar Pistols have already lost one of those rounds already on the T side, so things are going to get tough. But anyway, they go for the fast aggressive play towards outside, trying to catch these CTs off guard.
Pushing their way through it now, hoping to overwhelm the CTs. They're just playing these tight crossfires, just close angles where they can attempt to trade. But they're not even being given the chance. Hadji, that makes the round a little bit electrifying as he takes down Jess, grabs the AK as well, and finds the frag back on towards Ruler. That is always the worst case scenario. If you give Hadji an AK, you can see as soon as he grabs that weapon, he starts to slay everyone.
From 14-4, Endpoint bring it back to 10-15. Surprisingly, the T-sides are looking rather good, Jack.
Yeah.
Structured plays, I say structured, rather loose plays, but they are grouping together and following one voice, and that one voice being the mighty Max himself. Anyway, 5 rounds now as we go into round number 26. We'll be separating these two teams. FAMAS, UMP onto Jackson VK. On the 3 and 4 bye will come out for the remainder of the CT side. Ruler will be bringing the orb into round number 26. Once again, it's going to be the 4 AKs to finish off the rest of the bye. Max and Coke slowly grouping towards B. Cryptic's trying to scout the area, trying to see if he will sniff out an orb there. Any players getting aggressive towards ramp or heaven. And from here, Max can eventually sell the fake. They're playing a 4-1 style of CS.
Max playing around the smokes. He is going to be a nuisance into the late round. Now we see roaming out, trying to force that rotate over. VKL, big tags off, but no actual frags. In the end, he will find one, though. Pettyscale as well in the elevated angle, just trying to support his teammates. Cryptix gets both of the frags. He buys his team enough to rotate over as well, so they can get onto position, trying to grab that bomb, but he realizes he's got to peek out. Will eventually do so. They're left in a 2 versus 2 here.
Ruler finds the frag with the NWP, has control of connector. But already Jax is rotated, he's close towards the site, and Hadji's from behind.
Hadji from behind is going to be the difference impact factor as well. Hadji can just try and dismantle this. He can clear it out. He's going to be aware that no one's playing in backlines. That Molotov isn't in a good position. He finds headshots while Cryptix had to peek towards him. Ruler might be able to brain him, though, if he does this swiftly, because he's about to get spotted out, but it doesn't matter. Jax gets the info, flicks to the left, finds a headshot, and they do pick up the round.
It's going to be 16-10 from a 14-4, 10-round advantage there from Team EnVyUs. A very solid T-half, 11-4. They win both pistols, closed out eventually, but it did seem like, even though the scoreline might be 6 rounds separating these two teams, it was always EnVyUs Academy, round after round. They always had this one in the back.